guess who it is? The one, the only, Bugsy Prime. You're probably wondering, Bugsy, where are the other guys? Well, we're all still kind of recuperating after fighting the Black Orange for like another 10 hours. I'm up because literally, while we're dealing with that, we still got Faulkner and a bunch of other stuff that's happening, and me and the boys had to go handle up on the Black Arms thing because honestly, there's what's going on over there needed us more than double the others because I know they have it. They don't need a chaos lord like myself when I know they already got it. But if they needed me, I'm just gonna I'm gonna come in and just be like, you know what time it is. And no, I do not say it's time to bust that Bugsy nut. Because Double is an asshole. And yes, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I don't give a fuck. I'm a chaos lord. I can make 1 + 1 = fish if I felt like it. But yeah, not even the point. So you're probably wondering, okay, then why are you here? Well, I'm gonna talk about the stuff I do and don't say. And no, I'm not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything racially charged or anti-Semitic, so don't hope for that. You're fucking weird. Yo. If you really want me to say something edgy, I just want you to know that, like, dude, the edgy teenager phase passed for all of us years ago. Grow the fuck up. No, I mean, seriously. Seriously, grow the fuck up. One dude's like, oh, the edgy thing is totally like a white kid thing. No, we all grew up to be edgy for a little bit when we're teenagers because that's how we test limits. I'm sorry, Blue Miss Mary Sunshine, that you didn't have that. Probably why you're so dull. But while I'm sitting here, stuff I say. Well, I'll go like, hey, how you doing? It's Bugsy. It's Bugsy. Sometimes I don't really refer to myself as Bugsy Prime if I'm talking to people in my universe. Because, people know me as Bugsy. But if I'm in another universe and there's another Bugsy present, I go, oh, I'm Bugsy Prime. Yeah, I do the whole, like, Fonzie thing sometimes because I was a dude that watched a lot of Happy Days when I was a lad. A lot of it. TV Land was always fucking on. But, yeah. Some people, actually, let me change this from the things I don't say to, like, something else. Some people ask me, Bugsy, with everything that goes on in your life, how do you deal with it all? A lot of hanging out with friends, or I had a lot of just chilling and just enjoying life, unlike a certain axiom bound. Yeah, that's my only Ben related joke. Yeah, I just wanted to bust his chops just a little bit. Funny thing is, he got mad during the whole us dealing with the Nintendo thing, and I gotta tell you, being a Nintendo fan myself and not freaking out in the slightest, really just shows how I handle things opposed to the axiom bound. Anywho, so some people say like, oh well, okay, you got that. Well, what else do you do? Well, y'all know I'm the Master Commander of the Middleman Institute. I'm a frequent practicer of, CQC. And Chaos Fu. I am both a father and a stepfather. But a good one. Seriously. And still. I think about I kind of think about Seto constantly. Don't ask. And whoever says, Nick Bugsy, why do you think about it? Dude, have you seen my other videos where it's just me lamenting? Dude, if you don't know what's going on here, you need to go back a few. You need to go back a few steps, but not the point. Other than that, unlike Mr. No Name, I'm usually just kind of. I get up. I usually either get mauled by Tinkerbell, Panty, and Midnight, in that order, and the rest of my harem in like ABC order. Trust me, that is weird as hell, but when you're me, you get used to it. You want another connection between me and Bugsy No Name? We used to be the same person. We used to actually be the same person, but we split from each other. I won't explain that because one day that is going to be explained, but right now, I don't need to explain that right now. He's going to explain that, but yeah. And can I just say, folks, would it kill you to look at some Homestuck stuff? There is so many things explaining it. Most of the stuff that I do can easily be explained. Well, okay, the God tier stuff, especially. My session, though, I don't really like talking about that. That's very personal. Spurt fucks you up. Okay, just Spurt really fucks you up. Like, I'm talking bad. I am talking horrendous. The boss was trying to find Sakon. I don't think they're doing it this year. Me and the boss were kind of like wanting to go, and yeah, I guess it's not happening this year. But you're probably wondering, hey, are you, Demonic and Megalo, gonna do more Homestuck reacts? Oh, hell yes. Because we actually do enjoy that, and you know, even though more people in Spurb kind of gives me the anxiety that y'all will never understand for people that have never been in Spurb, you could just really feel like, you know, you've probably seen the last reaction, so you already feel my dread. So there's that. I'm also getting chased by Paul Heyman because they think I'm some sort of god and some more bullshit. And I can say this on my channel because no one is trying to puppet me and make me say shit I'm not about to say. Yeah, Double, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I heard what I've been hearing what you've been making me say. Oh man, I'm gonna get you for that. I'm not gonna do anything harmful, mind you. Probably the worst thing I'm gonna do is probably put you on a flagpole. Underwear on the flagpole. And just you'd probably like that. You are a little weirdo. Yeah. Anyways. So yeah. In my lore, here's something fun. In my lore, weapons and puzzles already got dealt with. I beat the shit out of puzzles, and weapons, after a few times trying to whoop my ass, I beat him so bad he got sent to the underworld. Raph is also there too. Yeah, Raph is still around. To my everlasting chagrin, that evil version of me will still always be around. I think he'll be around longer after I'm fucking energy in the planet. Yeah, certain Chaos Lords can, when we die, Chaos Lords can actually become energy for the planet. Like, we become one with the Earth. Kind of brings it around full circle if you know my race. My Uncle Merlin was the first. And so, yeah. But I can actually go to the afterlife and still be one with the Earth. I found that out. By Merlin. Don't ask. Don't ask. a few other things. People used to, people always say, you know, Bugsy, why do you change your form? I'm a Chaos Lord. I can basically change whatever I want. Some people don't really understand that, but like again, Chaos Swords can be whatever we want. But like, defaultly, if you really want to know how I look, this is more of an exaggerated kind of look for me. But I can show you how I actually look. It's not really that far off. Usually just like this, man. Like everybody kind of just assumes that I, you know, look like Goku. I mean, yeah, my hair is kind of close to it. That's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm just kind of a dude that just chills out. You know, when people need me, I'm usually here. I seriously sometimes just go. Today, me and the boys, you know, me, Rance, Manic, we were sitting down there, and Sonic was. We were basically exhausted after fighting the Black Arms, and Sonic's like, "Oh, Shadow's doing some work." Oh, I'm just like, Sonic. Now is not the time to be a snippy bitch. Like, I know he couldn't hear me, but like, I just wish I could just project it and just say, Sonic, now's not the time to be a snippy motherfucker. Okay, people are fucking dying. See, this is the difference between me and the Super Hedgehog Bros version Sonic. I don't care if I hate some person. Hell, I'll team up with weapons if it means we're gonna save people's lives, even if I gotta slap them in the back of the head. Because a hero does whatever it takes, and we don't bitch from the back. We do. But that's all I gotta say about Blue Man. Yeah, I don't even call him that one Sonic. I just call him Blue Dude. Blue Dude or Blue Idiot. Sometimes I'll call him Sonic when he actually does something that literally shows that he actually is growing. Other times I'll just go, Blue Idiot. Anywho, it's really not looking good here at Station Square, if I'm being honest. Even with my immense power, those motherfuckers overwhelmed me. I haven't felt that way since I was a teenager. Fighting entities, because yeah, I've been in the Middleman Institute for a very, very long time. It's just that was different. You know, not saying I have a limit, but either the Black Arms know what I'm capable of, or something else is going on. I just don't know what. Rance and Manic are asleep. I'm not gonna fall here, you know. I'm always gonna keep fighting because that's who I am. That's the person I will always be. A person that stands up for people. A person that'll be like, even if I don't got a lot of energy, I'm gonna use my last bit of energy to take a motherfucker with me if I die. That's just how it is. You know, my harem does worry about me. Trust me. Jess, Shigo, Karen, all of them. They're like, darling, are you okay? And I'm like, babes, I'm perfectly fine. They probably saw my vitals and how they spiked. But, you know, when's the last, I mean, let's be real, I've died more times than I could really feasibly say. And yes, it does fuck me up. But I don't try to talk about it. I don't dwell on it too much. Sometimes, you know, you gotta keep fighting. You gotta do what it takes. Sometimes you give a lot of yourself. But sometimes that's enough. You know? Any motherfucker that tells you that's not enough, and you're giving it 100%, you're doing your earnest job, then that motherfucker doesn't know nothing about you, whether as a parent or whatever. You are enough, man. You're doing the best you can, and if anybody hasn't told you this, I'm proud of you. I mean, I don't know what that means for a guy like me. I'm just Bugsy Prime. Not a lot of people know who I am. But hey, keep doing you. Also, some people have asked, well, Bugsy, what are your weaknesses? I will never reveal them. And besides, no one in the Zeta Omniverse is smart enough to figure it out. But I won't say it. I'm not talking about my allies. I'm talking about the dumbasses. Again, like Faulkner, Doman, all these motherfuckers, they underestimate me, and it's so funny when I actually just go, "Hey, motherfuckers!" Like I had to use one of my scythes, swords, whatever I have, or my forces. It's funny to see those motherfuckers look at me and go, "Holy shit!" Just that look of like, just pure fucking oh shit, this motherfucker's about to beat me. Oh my god, that look is so priceless. I played a lot of Batman, a lot of the Batman Arkham series. I'm telling you, the best feeling in the world is when you're playing it right, and you're picking off like the thugs, like in every moment, in every minute. And you pick up the last one or the last two, and they're like so afraid, they're shitting themselves almost. Like you could, like they're not really shitting themselves, but you can kind of imagine there's like an oh fuck kind of aura to it. And then when I get one over on one of the idiots in the Zeta Omniverse because they don't really understand or grasp the power of the Chaos Lord. Because unlike a certain Axiom Bound, I'm not like totally showy unless I really want to, unless I want to style on a motherfucker. Like, you don't see me go, Ben will say his fucking title and all this other shit. I'm just like, unless I'm like really fighting somebody and I'm being real serious, you'll only ever hear me say, I am Argos John Augustus Curro. And yes, my full name is that long. The Chaos Lords have two middle names. It's kind of a thing. Well, in this family anyway. I don't know how the Chaos Lord families do it. But because I'm a royal, that kind of makes sense. Why I never bring the Higher Havens to in any of the conflicts I'm in. Because I don't want the Zeta Omniverse to get into it and do some weird shit. I already got motherfucking Paul Heyman, Chris Redfield. I got those motherfuckers chasing after me. Bernard's the only one that's cool, even though he gets a little weird, but he's pretty cool. He's harmless, he's cool. He gets weird though. But I deal with that. And so I get questions often like, when did I really start falling for Theodora? Or, sometimes she's just Theo. And you're probably wondering when I fall for her. Well, when you're running from a bunch of crazy fans that want to see you and your would-be partner, getting down because they ain't Backdoor Baseball 5 the movie, and you're sitting in a bottle, and you remember that Theodora had a femme form, and that was her original form. You see her popping out of the shower. Things just kind of progressed from there. And, well, the old the old Prime is not a slouch in those areas. Let me just tell you. I know, I know. Dubs tries to really downplay, the potency of me, but literally, literally, most people get the Zeta Omniverse. I really like either wanting Zeta or someone else. It's never me, and I'm fine with that because, dude, I live in the Towerverse. Where my exploits have been known from everybody. Sometimes I get hit on by Lumpy Space Princess. I don't want to talk about that. You don't even want to know the kind. You don't even want to know the kind of things Lumpy Princess said to me. She said she wanted to take a tour of my chocolate factory. Yeah, I'm like, what the does that mean? Talking about me taking a shit? Like what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, I wanted you to slump these lumps. And I'm like, oh my god, no. Lumpy Space Princess is a definite pass. Like, I ain't even doing this magic pass. I'll say that right now. Some people have also asked, so you're a king, and you never really talk about that. I don't talk about it because it's not important. I'm not some godlike being that constantly throws his title around because he needs to freaking show off to everybody. If I do that, if I say my title, I say it with pride. I say it with a lot of oomph because I want people to know that even though I'm a king, I'm not opposed to get my own hands dirty and beat the shit out of you. It's just how I get down. You know? I know I'm referencing Ben a lot, but like, that man literally lost his mind, man. I'm a Chaos Lord and I've been doing this shit for like, since as long as I can remember, when I was a teenager, and been doing this thing for so many years. I ain't never seen another person that's supposed to be a godlike entity crash out this hard. I was like, wow. Like, it ain't even that serious. He's like, I'm gonna close down Pantera and all the stuff. And I'm like, my boy, it's not that serious. But he looks at me like, oh, you're goofy. I'm like, motherfucker, just because I'm goofy doesn't mean I don't fucking have serious fucking things. I'm not gonna take things overly serious like you. I'm not you. We may have had the same, like, it's possible me and Ben have probably had the same background. But unlike him, I'm not just gonna be a stick in the mud and just, be this way with people. Hell, I'm gonna make jokes. I'm gonna laugh at dumb shit. If we're not fighting or if nothing's going on, I'm gonna be a little loose. Because I can. Just because we have godlike powers, right? Doesn't mean we have to act like we're above it all. That's why I hated old Durkee Boy for that one. Not Dirk Ritter, but Dirk Strider. That's why I hated him so much. Because it's like, yeah, we have godlike powers, but do we have to act like people? Do we have to act like that? Oh no, since we have godlike powers, we have to literally act like the people we are until we go crazy like Jane. It's like, motherfucker, I'm gonna act like myself. I'm gonna act like a regular person because honestly, these powers don't define me. I'm gonna fucking go to Gooster's, get myself a sandwich, hang out with my friends. I'm gonna do what I do. And yes, there's the inevitability that I'll outlive them all. But hey, Chaos Lords can die whenever we want. when we feel it's time. So I don't have to necessarily outlive my friends. But a Chaos Lord feels it when it's our time to go. We feel it, and that's when we do go. So now it doesn't mean I'm gonna like myself, but yeah. Now I'm gonna say one thing only about the whole Ben situation. One, Benny boy, you need to get a grip. That whole thing you did. Listen, bro. I'm a Nintendo fan too, and I'm not pissing or moaning about it. I'm just handling it. Yeah, we destroyed Nintendo in that universe. And I'm like, so? No thing is lost. Nothing is ever lost. Especially in one universe. Trust me. I know the pressures of being a king and being a godlike entity. But you gotta learn though to relax, lighten up. You had friends, my friend. You had friends. Yes, and you treated them kind of poorly. I think if you really want us all to talk to you again, you need to come back and talk. And yes, I still stand by what I said to you. But I feel like you need to stop hiding and just talk to people. And let go of this Nintendo shit, eh? Like, seriously, man. Because like I said, if you can't handle being around us all, you could leave. I know it may hurt. I know it may hurt double. But at the end of the day, like, bro, you can't keep ducking and dodging us. Alright? It's not cool. It's not cool. I'm not saying you have to be like me. I'm not saying you have to totally lose yourself and all this other stuff. And I know you're probably not gonna listen to this because you got the attention span of a goldfish. I can say that because literally I feel like you do. But I want to just say this to you. You have friends that care about you. Even if I don't. Even if I'm not one of them anymore. You have friends that care about you, and you need to go handle up on that. Talk to them. Drop the Nintendo shit. Drop the superiority in your approach to people, and actually just enjoy this. Enjoy this. Because at the end of the day, we're all people just trying to do good and trying to do right by each other. I don't feel like you've been trying to do right by anybody. You just got mad and you just ran away and just said, I'm taking my ball and going home. Dude, I'm a Nintendo fan and I ain't sitting here saying, no, I'm leaving. No. Because, bro, despite the goofiness, I'm like the most mature motherfucker in this room. You know? You can't always judge a book because of how they act. You can't judge a book by its cover. Because literally, I'm like the most hardest to read book too. But that's not the point. Chaos runs and shit. But not the point. The point is, at some point, you need to just talk to them. Me, you know where I stand. And you really need to just talk it out with them. Me, I'm not really gonna be involved. Middleman Institute to run, Kingdom to run, people to make sure it's okay, okay, and three adorable stepchildren. I have to make sure get their homework done. I have responsibilities, yes, but I have responsibilities to the people I care about, and that's one of them. But I didn't want this to just be a message to you specifically, but I felt like I needed to say something. Not in the boss's usual, you're a dirty motherfucker. No, no, no. As a being understanding another being. And sure, you may not think I'm not. And let me just say this: you may not think I'm more powerful, or not as powerful as you, but I feel I'm powerful in one aspect. If you think I'm just not as strong as you in every other, the fact that I can take something like what we did with Nintendo, and I can live knowing that happened and not get all pissy about it, because that's what it means to be mature. You see all these people out here fixating on characters and going on Twitter and bitching and moaning, but me, fuck that shit. Got more important things to do. Though I do think what you said was very uncalled for. I'm not gonna sit here and berate you. I'm just gonna shake my head, hope you do the right thing. And if you don't, hey, no skin off my nose. But I will say this. When I was messing with Chris Redfield and the Dolphins, he said we're not, me and Gamzee weren't funny. I wasn't making that video for you. Okay? We had to go deal with Redfield some sort of way, and if you didn't think that was funny, it wasn't for you. I know you're dry and humorless. Dude, you only laugh at the jokes that you think are funny, and that's cool. But I always felt like there's always some hostility towards me. Maybe it's because I'm more free than you are. Maybe it's because, okay, both of our sisters, Scheherazade and Benjamin are kind of the same in various aspects. Oy. But at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of things that we are similar in. Whether you want to see that shit, that's on you. Motherfuckers like me don't have to impress you. Trust me, I lived a long life, loving my friends and everything else. I don't need an axiom bounds approval. All I do need is just my friends, my harem, a lot of goosters, and a ridge rush. That's all I need. But if you want to keep, bawling your eyes out about Nintendo, go right ahead, pal. I just think it's a waste of time. But, well, I'm gonna go do what I do best. Save people. Get pissed off about Sonic's whole lack of actually doing anything. Well, he is doing something. He's getting picked up by Gamma. Which, for some of you folks, I really... Okay. Let's just say there's a version of Gamma I knew. He sacrificed himself. I was really, really, really devastated when he died. Because I couldn't rebuild him. It's like he had a soul, and I couldn't bring him back. But seeing another Gamma doing good out there, right, made me happy. I Got a little choked up. I ain't gonna sit here and pretend I wasn't. But it's just there's a lot of that. But anything else like Rance, he may be, some people you may think of him as how the full, you know, timeline canon Rance is, but our Rance is a little bit more goofy. But he is, but he is a horny fiend. I ain't gonna pretend like he ain't. He is like ungodly so. But I guess my sister Snuggie kind of quells that in him, which, that I'm talking about this. But Manic, oh Manic, our Manic, he looks at the Manic from the Super Head Dog Bros universe, and he hates that motherfucker. He wants to beat that motherfucker in front of their Sonic and their Sonya, just to be like, that's how a real Manic does it, bitch. Literally, I have to stop Manic right now. I have to stop Manic from going into Club Silver, because literally, Manic wants to beat that motherfucker's ass all up in that club, and I'm like, bro, no, we got a job to do. He's like, nah, let me just go in there for a minute. Let me just go in there and get that motherfucker out here so we can actually fight. I'm like, Manic, come on, man. The motherfucker probably can't fight. The motherfucker's only good at manipulating people. He can't do anything else. To ask him to do something like that would go against his very nature, because because he acts like a little victim. Me and Manic had a little chuckle today after that. He came in there though, and I tried to stop him, but he's like, ooh, you're lucky. He's like, who are you? And Manic just looked at him like, I'm you, a better you. A dude that doesn't try to guilt trip his sibs like you do. And you lucky, motherfucker. Like, you're a little... And then Manic punched him once, and that motherfucker went down, but Manic told me before I came in there, he was beating his ass. Like, I think I didn't stop him because, Manic has learned how to actually negate my time stops. He's the only one that really knows how to do that. So, I tried to stop time. He's out here just going, He's like, I'll be back, little motherfucker. He's like, you better run away, you little... And he's like, no. And he just started kicking him in the spine. I was like, at some point, I just said, fuck it, and just let him just whoop the other Manic out. I just let him do it. I just let him do it. He was just really out here beating that ass. I just couldn't for the life of me, try to help, Because sometimes you can't help motherfuckers, They're not saying I just let Manic just wail on him for an hour, because that'd be totally irresponsible of me. See, that'd be totally irresponsible of me as the master commander of, the Middleman Institute. And if anybody goes like, Bugsy, that was kind of fucked up, but Rouge has a fucking fight club in the bowels of her actual club, and she's still working for Gunn. I let Manic go ahead and beat that other version of himself. Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. At least I let Manic just do what he needed to do. I remember Manic grabbed him. I'll say this, Manic grabbed that motherfucker, and he was like, the difference between me and you, I'm not some manipulator. I don't cry that Daddy never accepted me. I made something of myself. And you could do the thing you did with Amy, but at the end of the day, you're a sad, weak, pathetic version of me. That's all you'll ever be. Have fun dipping from your responsibilities. I know that you have a bunch of illegitimate kids, Manic was like going in on this man. I had to. That's when I had to pull him out. That Manic was shaking. You know, that Super Hedgehog Bros Manic, he was shaking, he was crying, he was like, make it stop, why are you even here? I was like, okay, Manic, that's enough. That's enough of beating on this motherfucker, let's go. He's just browbeaten, you know? He's just really beaten. So I just said, you know, let's go back out there. And we did. For another 10 hours. It would have been more, but I just said, you know what? I just said, you know what? We're doing it for another few minutes. After we kind of exhausted ourselves, we just kind of had to monitor everybody. Monitoring duty kind of sucks, but you know when you're depowered, when your two best buddies and yourself are depowered, what are you gonna do? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna sit there and just hope to God your energy comes back, so no one else gets hurt. There's like there's like one fatality, but like a whole bunch of shit got destroyed. And Megalo is still out there trying to find out how those portals open. It's a mess out there. Ugh. I don't know who's controlling the Black Arms. It could be Black Doom, but me and the guys can't find any proof that it's him, but probably could be. Because, you know, the Black Arms can have like interchangeable leaders. You know, I know that from the other universes. Who knows? Who knows what's really controlling them? But for right now, the best I can do is go ahead and handle up on a moron. You know, that's all I can do. That's all I can go in and do. You know, most of the agents are resting. Some are doing lookouts and shift. Mostly Agent Lure and Agent Eclipse. I love those two like they're my daughters, by the way. Like I know I don't say it as much, but I personally but Yonki trained them for other things. But I personally took them under my wing in the beginning, and look how they. I just go, look how they've grown, you know? Look how they've matured and changed. I'm actually kind of happy. I'm actually kind of happy that they are who they are now. Confident agents that can do the hard things. They're close to me in power. And they're just humans. They're not me. They're not a Chaos Lord. They're just humans, but they learned Chaos Magic so easily and really gave it their all, and I'm so proud of them. If there's anything else I really needed to say, I would say... If there's anything else I really need to say, you know... Being a mailman, being a hero, you deal with a lot. You see a lot. But out here... fighting on the front lines, dealing with a bunch of these Black Arms motherfuckers. You know, fighting the good fight. It reminds me of the fact of my old crew. Reminds me of my own crew and some of the older members that used to be around. And I feel like I'm doing right by them. Because we're all trying to do right by somebody. Even if we don't think. Even if we're not really thinking about it too heavily. Oh, but I'm getting all... But, old Argos is getting kind of weepy. So, let me get out of here. Oh, yeah, that message to Ben, I totally mean that, like, 100%. But, hey. I don't got time to dwell on an Axiom Brown crying about Nintendo all day. I got lives to save, people people to meet and probably some black arms tomorrow to go knock in the next week. Like my name is Leroy. Leroy Jones, not Leroy Jenkins. If y'all don't know who Leroy Jones is, he used to be one of my old teachers. Man could punch a fucking rhino. Now I saw this from him. He could punch a rhino. I'll talk about this later because you know what? I'm gonna call this Life and Times of Bugsy Prime. Revealing an intimate look on, well, me. But I won't tell you the weaknesses of Chaos Arts. Again, no one's smart enough to figure it out. But I'm never gonna explain it. I hope Karen doesn't get too. I hope Karen and Kim and Shigo don't get too angry because I was supposed to check in with them, and now I'm kind of doing this, and they're probably gonna be fucking mad at me. But I needed to kind of have a moment to just kind of decompress after everything. Get some stuff off my chest. Keep going, But I gotta go. See you all later. Tomorrow. Hopefully we keep that line going. We keep defending the people of Station Square. And all the multiverse warriors out there that's doing the exact same thing we're doing. I'm proud of all of you. And if you ever want to be middlemen, I don't mind. I really don't mind. I mean, I'm probably gonna run you through your paces, and you have to go through training. But other than that, it should be easy. But I digress. But I shall see you all later. Bugsy, Master Commander, King, and trusted friend, out. I'm out, folks. Peace. And remember, the middleman fight and the middleman stand. Always. Always remember that.